first I thought it was going to stress her out knowing how much we had to get done. And Bobby was being a slave master and telling us to get all this. So I'm letting him be the head. No, I'm just kidding there, Bob.
Bobby was terrible.
No. There were some times when I knew she just needed a break. You know, and she was, when we worked. But I would pull out some pictures and just take a few minutes and go, Mom, when was this? Or who was this? And she was clear-headed. She gave me information that, you know, on the family that I didn't remember from the pictures. It was a really nice time. Yeah, we just worked when we had to work, sorting clothes, you know, stuff she wanted, throw away in the trash. She's very practical when it comes to stuff like that. But when we slowed down and just looked at pictures, it was just a very, very nice time. It was a really nice time.
So I think the thing that stood out to me most about the entire weekend, I kept being reminded of this, of what a huge privilege it was for us to get to be the ones to be there when your mom and dad actually got reunited in the new room where they're going to be staying. And you know, we're just the ones that lucked out with that particular weekend when so many other people have done the work to lead up to this. So, you know, I had a lot of gratitude for all the people that have done so much work to get other things ready. And then we were the ones so blessed, you know, to be down there and actually deliver your mom to the center. And so at the end of this video, everybody will get to see your mom in her little jazzy elite electric sports car driving into your dad's room to see him and the big moment. I thought that was pretty neat. So should I tell everybody about Java time?
Yeah, you got to tell them about Java time.
So one of the mornings, there was really nothing for Ian and myself to do. Ian came down with us, and he was just spectacular the whole weekend. For a 16-year-old to go through that many boring hours and literally never one peep of complaint, I was pretty proud of him. So Ian was with me, and we went to see everybody, you know, your all's dad, while we were waiting for more things for us to do at the cottage. And we were heading for his room, and one of the nurses recognized one or both of us and said, "Oh, if you're going to see EJ, Ed, or whatever she called him," she pointed us in the other direction, and she said, "He's at Java time." And I didn't know if that was a in-house coffee shop they had or whatever. I went, "Okay, great. Well, which direction is that?" And she goes, it starts in about 10 minutes, and he's down in that room." So I went, "Starts in 10 minutes. Well, that's okay, whatever." So we got there, and your dad was sitting there nestling a cup of coffee. And it turned out to be, I guess, a therapy session, group therapy, keep everybody, you know, with an upbeat attitude, you know, self-love, a lot of positive thoughts, that kind of thing. So it was a very guided discussion. It wasn't really discussion, honestly. It was a leader that would ask questions and elicit a few answers from a few people in the group. But you know, the main thing was your dad heard Java and he was all about it. Get me down there. So and they had some, you know, we sang a song, 4 or 5 songs throughout the thing, and it what's the right term, Nancy? What's the right way for me? How would I categorize this meeting? Is it okay to say
I
it?
don't know, I wasn't there, so.
I know, but you heard the description and
Yes.
some of the conversation. Maybe a little bit juvenile for your dad. Anyway, so I was wheeling him back to his room, and while I'm wheeling him along, I'm going to just let you all see. So if you can see my finger, he did this. He did this to me. So he's doing this, like from his chair. He does that, and so I lean over to hear, to get my ear down next to his mouth to hear what he had to say, and he goes, I don't think that's really for me. So he liked the coffee, but he wasn't too much into the Java time. But we all got a kick out of that. Halfway through that meeting, Ian said to me, this is way more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. So it was interesting. Anyway, so Nancy, tell everybody about your mom's. She had a little bit of a fever, and give them a medical update.
So, with no other symptoms, she got to the center. When we got her to the center, the protocol is for them to do a quick physical, checking blood pressure, taking a temperature, seeing what meds, that she's on at the moment or anything like that. Just checking her out so they have a baseline. And when any residents come into the center for the first time, they automatically are checked for 3 days, pretty much 24/7, just in the night, checking in on them. And that really is just to get a baseline of what their condition is, so they can go forward. And so Mom got there, and they pretty much, she had about 5 minutes to say hi to Dad and confirm, to comfort him, to let him know, yes, I'm staying. I'm not leaving. I'm staying here. And he was very glad about that. So they take her blood pressure. And then when they got to taking her temperature, they noticed she had a little bit of a fever. And they just said they were going to monitor it. And as far as I know, that night they did wake her up several times to take blood pressure again and check her temperature. I don't think there was any other issues. And she reported back to us that she had the best night's sleep she's had in over a month. So I was so glad to hear about that. Excuse me. And what else? That's pretty much all I can think of.
Right.
As far as her condition, I think there's nothing else really going on. So we took, right before we left, we made one more trip back to the cottage and brought a couple boxes full and another suitcase full of some clothes. We got everything put away and all the boxes out of there so that they weren't in the way, and changed a couple light bulbs she wanted three-way lights, three-way light bulb instead of just one bright glaring one. We set up their phones. They have phone. We'll send the new phone number for their room to everyone. We put some pictures up. What else did we do? She had a lamp. She was so happy to have a pretty decorative lamp that was filled a spot that was just, she felt it was just wrong not to have a lamp there. She was very insistent that she wanted it looked beautiful. It made the room way homier. And then we got to enjoy the beautiful snow that started down there. It started snowing. It shocked all of us. We had no idea they were expecting any snow. And so, yep, they sat and just enjoyed the gorgeous snow that came down. And we had a wonderful time of prayer.
Yep.
Right before we left, which they were, my mom was really glad about. And
we brought over the bird bath.
All right.
Put that out there for your dad to watch as well.
So hopefully they're going to have a bird reunion They got to find their way back over there from the cottage.
The birds will find EJ.
We drove up to the cottage. There must have been 5 or 6 cardinals in the trees around the house, and I know they were looking for those bird feeders. And I, what am I going to do? I couldn't follow us. Come back over here.
Right.
Anyway, so
I think those are all the high points. Those are the most important things, and we did it this way just because we also wanted to connect the video you're about to see of your mom traveling down the hallway in her little electric car.
how you doing?
Good.
Hello.
All right.
You sick?
I don't
catch it.
Fist bumps, right, when you're sick?
Yeah, really.
I've been washing my hands like crazy.
Yes, I have very little contact.
One more.
It's my phone.
Next one. Yeah. Big part. Call mom. Thank you.
Like we all want to be
Very important person.
Bless your heart.
We dragged her. We handcuffed her.
Well, you have to sometimes. She's Italian, you know.
And I'm here for good. I'm not visiting you. I'm here for good.
She says she's here for good.
Not a visit.
This is not a visit.
You're gonna have to put up with me.
You gotta put up with mom now.
Amen.
He says amen.
Amen.
That's why there's 2 beds over there.
Oh, yeah.
One's for you, one's for mom. How you feeling today?
Oh, so, you know.
So?
Once I have a good nap, maybe I'll feel better.
Well, I'm sure after all mom's been through, she's gonna want to relax
Yeah.
and rest for a little while.
I'll probably sit in this chair for a while.
Okay.
Um,
We'll help you with your clothes.
And then we start doing stuff right here. She can move where she wants, but I'm gonna put them here for now.
And I gotta get felts for these chairs.
you look like Santa Claus.
Huh?
You look like Santa Claus.
With that red blanket.
Honey, you can go back and rest because I'm gonna sit here and rest myself.
I'm gonna put that. You wanna try sitting here?
I'm not gonna get out of this chair for